Let's go to another offensive lineman here. Penei Sewell. Now, the Dolphins could be in play here after Brian Flores was in attendance for Sewell's pro day at Oregon. I think he's in play at 6. I also could see this outcome happening, where even though I love Penei Sewell, the prospect, I think he's fantastic, my number 2 overall guy in this year's class, I could see a scenario in which both the Bengals and the Miami Dolphins at 5 and at 6 say, we're fine. We're going to go playmaker. We're going to take, Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase, somebody else. And Sewell slides to 7 or 8 with the Dolphins the Lions or Panthers on the board. The guy that I saw at Oregon, even if Pac-12 editors are not elite by any stretch of the imagination, was fantastic. 0 sacks, 2 hits, 7 pressures. These are all per Pro Football Focus, by the way. He's awesome. And yeah, his arms aren't great and he can lunge at times. As a reminder, folks, Penei Sewell dominated the Pac-12 before he turned 20. He does not turn 21 until October. He can't even drink yet, and he was this good. Don't overthink it. That guy is a stud. Now, as it relates to Dolphins specifically here, how much do they trust Austin Jackson and Robert Hunt? Because Hunt could play right tackle. Austin Jackson could move somewhere else. Sewell could play guard if he even wanted him to. So from a need perspective, I do think there is a way to get Sewell on this unit and helps make them better. And in the end, I believe that Penei Sewell is one of the top 5 options for this team in round 1 at that number 6 overall pick. Doesn't mean he's the best option, but he is an option in the end. So 5 names that I think make sense for the Dolphins and shouldn't be a surprise at all, right? 3 receivers, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell out of Oregon, and Kyle Pitts out of Florida. At least probably 3 of those 5 guys are going to be on the board. It's a matter of what the Dolphins want. Do they want to protect Tua, or do they want to give him a more dynamic playmaker? Pitts might be gone. If so, you got three great receivers there. Those certainly make some sense. Jamar Chase could make some sense. Smith, Waddle, of course, played with Tua. And then, of course, there is Penei Sewell. And I love him as a prospect. People freaked out about his arm length at his pro day. Like, we already knew it wasn't going to be 34 inches. It's above 33. Checks off that box for me. I don't get it from that perspective. I am very confused by the discourse around Penei Sewell. I take him top 5, no problem. Some think Rashawn Slater is better. I'm inclined to disagree. So the answer for Miami specifically does not have to be Penei Sewell. Don't get me wrong there. Who do you want or think they just should? Who should the Miami Dolphins take at number 6 overall? It's going to be offense. But who do you want it to be? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section. Any player the Dolphins should take at number 6 overall. So the Miami Dolphins, when they get on the board with the second first-round pick, number 18 overall, the report from The Athletic is they could go edge rusher. And looking at their depth chart, makes sense to me. This is their 3-4 front in that multiple scheme that they run. There's Emmanuel Ogbah and Andrew Van Ginkel and Vince Beagle. They traded Shaq Lawson away. Edge rusher is a need for this Dolphins team. It is a significant need for them. In fact, from a pure need perspective, it might be their biggest need. Because you cannot enter the actual year with Emmanuel Ogbah and Van Ginkel and Vince Beagle as your top 3 passers. That's not going to work. Now, where things get tricky for Miami is that the number 18 pick will have edges available. How good are they, though, is a very, very different conversation. That is not a great group of edges in this year's class. It's just a little bit thin. Now, The Athletic mentioned 6 names as possible round 1 targets. There was the 2 Miami kids Gregory, Rousseau, Jaelan, Phillips. So I like Phillips more, but there's the medical concerns there. Rousseau, meanwhile, has been a bit overhyped. I love the fit of Azeez Ojulari at 18. If he is there, that would be my suggestion. They also mentioned 2 linebackers in there. Micah Parsons, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They can blitz a little bit, but even though Parsons played defensive end in high school, he's not a pure pass rusher, so I don't get that fit there. Jayson Oweh in round 1. I simply can't do it, folks. I cannot take an edge rusher in the first round who, in a shortened season, yes, had 0 sacks. That is not something I can do. I cannot justify that if I were an NFL team. Round 2, okay, let's have that conversation. Top 20, even though he's a freak athlete, no, I don't want that to be a path for the Miami Dolphins. Now, name a pass rusher that you guys want to take at number 18. There were some names not included on that Athletic article. So what pass rusher do you guys want at number 18? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Some names not mentioned. I was very surprised to not see Kwity Paye on that list because I think he does go in round 1. Also a freak athlete, better production and tape than Jayson Oweh, for example. Ronnie Perkins, Joseph Ossai, fit that 3-4 outside linebacker mold. Ossai, a test as a better athlete. I like Perkins' film more, however. There was also Carlos Basham, who kind of a hybrid tweener fit for that particular scheme. And I'll mention one linebacker here as well, as it directly relates to the Miami Dolphins, with Zaven Collins. He fits that Kyle Van Noy role. I don't love him at 18. I get more than Jayson Oweh. If he's there early round 2, that would be the right range for me because I think his fit in the Brian Flores defense is actually very strong. Some quick training camp notes I wanted to dive into here coming over from our good friend Peter King. And this is interesting to me. He reports the NFL is looking to make the start of training camp into a key event for the league. Remember, you have the NFL draft, right, in late April. The scouting combine in February. NFL free agency in March. All the months have something big there. Not so much when we get to July. So the NFL is at least considering taking this approach. If you guys are familiar with the whole Midnight Madness thing for college basketball, when all the scrimmages and practices all get going, right? The NFL is considering doing something similar, where they would be able to have 28 teams start camp on July 27th, which is an interesting pitch for the NFL. Now, of the 4 teams who would not do it, you're thinking the 2 teams who are going to play on the Hall of Fame game and the 2 teams playing in the Thursday night opener, so the ones who actually play games earlier get a slightly earlier start. But this is worth monitoring. Now, the flip side here is that it's just the start of practice. So I don't think the NFL would be able to spin it into a whole massive event. However, with the backing of NFL Network, I'm sure ESPN would get on board. You might be able to make it a media creation, which point, you know what? At least we have football back at that point. So I am very curious to see what the path is here for the NFL. But keep an eye out for this move coming probably after the draft officially. NFL camps get going on July 27th, and then they make some major, trying to make it, I should say, a fairly giant NFL-focused training camp, Midnight Madness type of move. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening, but keep an eye on it for in the not-too-distant future.